Okay, hello guys. So we are starting this session, and there is one thing, and as you can see this particular photo in front of you, that failed versus not qualified. Okay, so why I mentioned this particular thing, because a lot of people are in the pain and they think that they have failed, and failure is something which kills us. Okay, failure is like we have failed in life. We have failed everyone. Okay, we have failed each and everyone, and everything is over now, although it is not true. So I would say you were not able to qualify. Okay, it was prelims. So yes, it was a qualifying exam and you were not able to qualify uh, one particular stage. Hello, am I audible to all of you? And guys, please don't play with the photo, please.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you. Okay, thank
Completely
you.
audible.
Okay, thank you. So it was a qualifying exam and you were not able to qualify, and so please don't hurt yourself much, because while talking to some of the students, I have seen it that some students think that they have failed everyone, they have broke all the promises. I know it is really tough, because in the starting stage, that is prelims only, and if you are not able to clear that, then of course you are not going to write the mains. So treat it as if you were not able to qualify, not fail. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing, as one of the participant of this call, am I audible? Hello, am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Guys, those who are saying that I'm not audible, kindly check your internet, please. Okay, and as there is one participant in this particular session, and he is Alok sir. Uh, some of you know him. He's owner of Prep for UPSC channel. He's HDM in Bihar. Okay, so he's HDM in Bihar, and he has cleared all the prelims. He has never failed in prelims. So I would request Alok sir to give some insight on the prelims, because he's having very short time, because elections are going there. So Alok sir, can you please share some of the tips with the students, that how to clear the prelims and how to handle the prelims, because this was a prelims paper which was completely out of the blue, right? Alok sir. uh,
Hello,
yes,
am I
yes sir.
audible? Actually, there was one call from office,
Okay, okay, okay.
election time.
Yes sir, yes.
What you told, I was not able to listen. Can you just repeat
uh,
in one, two words what I have to say?
yes sir.
Yeah,
Sir, I was just asking you that you have cleared all the prelims, and this
yeah,
was
yeah,
definitely a completely different kind of prelims. But
yeah, yeah.
there are students who are thinking that how to clear the prelims. So please share some of the tips on how to clear the
Mhm.
prelims, because you have cleared all the
Yeah,
prelims.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just want to clear one, two things. Many people think that they are studying for UPSC, and many people think they are preparing for. Am I audible?
Yes sir.
Hello.
Yes sir, you are. Yes sir, you are
Okay,
audible.
okay, okay. So many
And
people think, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
guys, anyone has any problem if we will talk in Hindi? Are you
No,
guys
sir.
comfortable? Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Yes sir, please sir, आप
Can you
share
speak in
करिए.
Hindi? Everyone is comfortable.
Not
Yes, sir.
all,
Yes.
but I will translate to them.
Okay, okay, no issue.
यस 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 यस. तो सर
Many
थोड़ा सा
people.
ये वही है. हाँ सर, थोड़ा वही है कि लोगों में एक जो डर है ना, कि प्रीलिम्स का पेपर का जो पैटर्न चेंज हुआ है, इतना ड्रास्टिक चेंज हुआ है कि अब इसमें कहाँ से हम की तलाश करें, कि भाई कहाँ से हम पढ़ें, कैसे करें. आई थिंक बहुत डर है. तो प्लीज सर आप कंटिन्यू.
Yes, sir. First thing is that many of us think that we are studying for UPSC, and many of us thinking that we are preparing for UPSC. So study and preparation both are different thing. Okay, is it clear? Study is different, preparation is altogether different. Study is just a part of preparation. Preparation is a holistic term. You have to do many other things along with study to cool and calm within the examination hall, to choose the right sources, what to read, what not to read, right mentor, right sources, it should be correct. So following the authentic website, many of things, giving mock test, uh, performing within the examination hall. So there are many things. If you only focusing on study or giving the mock, it is just part of preparation. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
So I'm coming to specifically on.
Sir, now you are not audible.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yes, sir.
I'm just coming to prelims. Prelims is altogether different game from mains, because in prelims you have very less time. Okay, very less time, 200, 2 hours, 100 questions, and you have to cover each and everything. Okay, so it's a mind game rather than what you have to do. Whenever you give mock test, all of us practicing mock test. So I will tell you step by step. You have to divide your whole prelims preparation in 3 parts. First one is static books. Okay, everyone should have their own basic book lists. For example, for myself, for polity, I'm Lakshmikant. Modern history spectrum, ancient and medieval history, old NCRT. Like that, you should have the list of basic book of each static subject. Okay, and stick to that. Don't read multiple sources. Read one source multiple times. Okay, so whenever you read Lakshmikant, read it 10 times. Why I am telling this? Read it 10 times or read it multiple times. When you read the fundamental rights first time, fundamental chapter part 3, when you read it first time, you will focus on what is right to equality, right against exploitation, article 32, this that. But in second reading or third reading, you will know the nuances of or the minute points of the fundamental rights. For example, in article 21, it is given that no person shall be deprived from the right to life and personal liberty. It means, why the person word has been added, why not citizen? Because it is equally applicable to citizen and non-citizen. Okay, so the word person has been mentioned, and no person shall be deprived. It means it is already, you have already the right to life. State cannot deprive you. Okay, so in first reading, you can't know these nuances. Okay, so if you read the same source multiple time, you will get the higher level in each reading. So first make the basic book list of each and every static subjects, and it can vary from aspirant to aspirant. It doesn't matter, but stick to one basic source. You can have auxiliary sources. That's a different matter. Second one is the current affairs. First part is static part. This year also in polity they asked some static question. In economics also some static question. So it varies year to year, but there will be some static question in each prelim. So you should know the basic points. Okay, this year also preamble question asked. Okay, and it was clearly mentioned in the preamble chapter of M. Lakshmikant. Whenever you read the M. Lakshmikant, the preamble chapter, you will find the answer of that particular question that was asked in this prelims 2020. So first part is the stick to the static part and stick to the basic books. Okay. Second one is the current affairs. Current affairs is important nowadays. It became very much important. So just follow some authentic source. The Hindu. The Hindu is the most recommended newspaper by each and every toppers, and it's supplementary is Indian Express. But if you can read the Hindu, read it daily. You can make one page of notes, or you can follow one website also, whatever they are giving. So second is the current affairs. Okay. And third, the most important part is practicing. I will emphasize on it. So when you give a mock test, how to give the mock test and how to analyze it, it is very much important. How? When you give a mock test, you will get the 100 question. Just sit, try to give it offline. Just take a printout of the PDF and just sit on the table. Take a pencil and a pen, and take a that specimen OMR sheet also to fill the bubbles. Okay, so just go through the paper. When you get the paper, just go through it. Why? You will get two advantage. You will get the level of paper. When you read 1 to 100 question in 2 to 3 minutes, you will get the level of paper, how the question has been asked, or what is the actual level. Because when you solve the sectional test, it has different level. When you say when you attempt the sectional test of polity, you will get the 160 marks. When you attempt the sectional test of ancient history, you will get 90 marks. So it vary from paper to paper. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are.
Okay. So it vary paper to paper. So in first reading, you will get the level of the paper. What is the actual level of the paper? Is it very tough? Is it very easy? Is it medium level? So you will get the that level. Second is, sometimes what happens in mock test, also in actual exam also, every year, you will get the hint of one question, uh, get the hint of one question in another question. When you read the comprehensively the whole question paper, what you feel that you will get the hint of one option in another option. So it's contradictory sometimes, it complementary sometimes. So it will help you to eliminate the answers. So you will get the these two benefits. So now attempting the question, how to attempt the question. So just take the pencil and mark it properly on the question paper. Why? Because sometimes it asks incorrect, or sometimes it asks correct question, not correct. So we make these types of mistakes. So when you have the pencil, and you will mark the that particular keywords. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you will get the keywords, what the actually the question is asking. So just take the pencil, and in first reading you are now attempting the question, actual question. Just do whatever you are damn sure. Okay. So these are also, there are 10, 20, 30 question depending upon the level of preparation. You can solve these question in first reading. You have no doubt. Just mark those options in your question paper. So now you have secured the those 10, 12, 30, 40 questions in first. So it will take no time because you are damn sure. Now attempt the second round, in which you have to take the risk, calculated risk elimination method, and these questions will decide your result. In mock test, I'm telling you how to attempt this question. So in mock test, in first round, you attempted the 30, 35 question, or 20 question, or 40 question, depending upon level of preparation. In second round, you have to take risk, because whether you mark 100% correct question or 40 question, you will not able to clear it. You have to take risk, and that will be the deciding factor. So in second round, whenever you attempt the question, you have to give proper concentration to each and every word of the question. There are some, you might be carried away by reading the option, or sometimes I am just taking one example. Okay. Uh, from one of my channel, that MCQ for prelims. I just posted one question. So with this examples, you will know the the question is, recently, BIMSTEC Secretariat has finalized BIMSTEC Charter after 23 years of its inception. Choose the incorrect statement about the BIMSTEC. This is the question. I am repeating it. Recently, BIMSTEC Secretariat has finalized BIMSTEC Charter after 23 years of its inception. Choose the incorrect statement about the BIMSTEC. Now I am reading the options. First one is, first summit meeting of BIMSTEC was held in Bangkok in 2004. Second one is its secretariat is located in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Third one is currently it has 7 member states. Fourth one is it was established in 2004 as BIMSTEC with 4 countries: Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. So some people might think I don't know so much facts about the BIMSTEC. How can I solve it? But when you read the each and every question of the that particular MCQ, you will get the clue. How? First clue is it is asking the incorrect statement. Okay, so you have to underline that word incorrect statement. Second, in question itself, it is telling that after 23 years of its inception, and option D, it is telling that it was established in 2004. So it is conflicting statement. So it's clearly incorrect. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in 2019 also, in set D, there was a question about Asian Infrastructure and Investment Bank. In 2019 set D, the first question was AIIB. So it has 3 statements. First one is the India is the founding member or something like that, or the largest contributor, something like that. The second statement is all the members of the AIIB are from Asia only. And third one is it has more than 80 members. So second and third are clearly conflicting, because when it has the 80 members, it must have the members from the outside the Asia, or if it is it has the members from Asia only, it must less than the 80 members, because the largest continent, Africa, 54 country, you know that basic things. So suppose there are 4 options A, B, C, D. So in suppose A, B, C, D, in those options in which 2 and 3 are together mentioned, those are you can clearly strike out, because in any option 2 or 3 are not 2 and 3 both together can't be happen. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so when you don't know about AIIB or something other, so these methods you have to apply. So by these application, I have one document skill for MCQ. So how to eliminate, how to into because there are some partially correct option statement also, that ozone is a secondary pollutant which emits directly from the vehicles. Yes, it is a secondary pollutant, but it is not directly emitted from the vehicles. So the question is asking correct statement. So you don't carry away with the partially correct statement. So it has to be correct. It might be possible that the first part of the statement is correct and second part is not correct. This year also I can give you many examples. So you have to give proper attention to each and every word of the question. Give due respect to the examiner, the question setter, because he has some mindset. When you get the examiner mindset, you can clear that particular exam. You have to get the examiner mindset. Just that's it. Okay. So when you attempt the second round, uh, you might attempt with different pen colors for your just marking purpose. So at third round, the second round, some risk calculated question preparation. And now the third round, in that round, you can take some risk. It's up to you whether I always take that risk, and 5-10 question just I take on area finally. So what you have to do, uh, uh, correct your that match the your answer,
Alok
match
sir.
your that OMR sheet with
Alok
the
sir.
answer key.
Alok
Yeah,
sir. Your voice is cracking, sir.
yeah.
Okay. Please check your internet.
Now just wait a minute. Now fine.
It is fine.
Hello.
Yes, sir. It is fine
Okay.
now.
So what you have to do? Okay. So when you attempted the question in final round, then you have to match that particular OMR with the answer sheet. Now you will get the data which is correct, which is incorrect. Now you have to see when you took the risk, how much question was correct from that calculated risk questions. Okay, and you have to develop a skill that when you attempt any unknown 10 question, it should be minimum 7 question correct. Why? Because 3 question incorrect, you will get one that negative mark. So 6 question altogether correct, and you will get the 12 marks positive. So most of the people get that 80 to 90 range marks, 70 to 80 marks. And if you get 7 question correct per 10 question, listen carefully, listen it carefully. 7 question correct per 10 question in which you took the risk. So it will result into adding off of 48 marks, approximately 50 marks. So 70 plus 50, 120. Okay. So you have to reduce the incorrect question in each mock test. How to reduce? Now you have the data. How much question you made mistakes and incorrect, all these things. Just analyze each and every question. What was your fault? Whether there could be some reasons. So why you made those mistakes? I am listing out some of the reasons. First one is you are missing some important resource where that particular question appeared and you just missed that resource. First one. Second one is you have a lack of basic concepts, that is static book revision. There is some question on fundamental duty and you just made the mistake. It means you didn't read that Lakshmikant properly. So lack of that particular basic concept. Second. Third one is you didn't read the question carefully. You made some silly mistakes. If you read the question care, you could correct it. So third one. So just you can mention that particular reasons. And in next test, you have to be more careful. Why? Just see that what was the main reason for those incorrect question, whether it is your hurriness, or whether it is lack of the basic concept, or whether it is lack of following of a proper source, resource, or newspaper. So you have to rectify it and then again appear in the next mock test. So gradually you will start from the 30 marks, 40 marks, 50 marks, 60 marks, 70 marks, 80 marks, till before prelims, before 10 days of prelims, when you give any FLT of any question, you should not get the less than 120 marks, any random question. So that's that brief strategy, and it could be very that minute one, but I just summarize it in very short detail. If there will be a chance, I
Thank
will give more.
thank you, sir, for this. Sir, I have some questions for you. Okay.
Yeah,
Sir,
fine.
there is one question, and there is a very important point which you have said, that please use authentic source, and
Yeah.
especially when it comes to website or Telegram channel, because Telegram and websites are full of lot of MCQs,
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
questions.
Because today also, I'm just telling one example. Today also, one in on one of the channel, the Telegram owner or so, whatever admin mentioned the 2019 question, sorry, 2017 question Kakatiya Dynasty port. That
Yes.
photo, and
Hmm.
he was Machilipatnam. So I just
Yes.
messaged him, and he corrected it in the correct option is D. Fine, but in the actual question, he can't read it. And very few people see that the letter messages, or whenever it is shared to other groups, it is not reflected. So people who is first timer, they think that, oh, it may be Machilipatnam.
Yes.
So it in this year of question also, and okay, one more thing is important. Do the previous year question very carefully,
Yes.
very meticulously. दैट जी जान लगा के एकदम प्यार हो जाना चाहिए. जैसे ही आप देखें कि द हिंदू का ये टॉपिक है, this was appeared in 2017. You can send me any question. If it is previous year question, I can tell you it was appeared in 2016 or 2017 or 2018 or 2019, or at least it was asked by UPSC, actual UPSC. So you should have that proper grip on the previous year question. Why? I'm telling it has many reasons. First one is you will get the actual demand of the UPSC. Whatever mock test you are giving, that's fine. but you have to give the actual mock test of the UPSC. UPSC will give you the final result, not any mock test. So mock test is fine, but you have to uh, give due respect to the previous year question. In any examination, two things are most important. Mentor, first one is the syllabus, stick to the syllabus in mains also. Second one is the previous year question. No one can give you better insight than the previous year question. First one, this one. Second one is, in every year, it will help you to solve some of the questions. That Amar Simha was the lexicon, that dictionary maker in that quote. So Amar Simha asked this year that a Sthanak Vasi or some Mahayan question was asked this year also, and it was asked in 2017 or 18 question also. So it will not directly help, but it will surely help you indirectly to solve 5 to 10 question. Okay, so give due respect to the previous year question and surely follow the that authentic source. Why? Because one question can change the whole game. 2.66 marks. If you made one mistake, it amounts to 2.66 marks. So if you made such 5 mistakes, 12.66 marks, and 10 question, what you have to do? You have to just convert your 10 incorrect question into correct question. 10 incorrect question, what you have made the mistake in this prelims or mock test, 10 incorrect question to correct question, it will add up 26.66 marks. So if you are getting 90, you will get 160. If you are getting 100, you will get 126. You are getting 180, you will get 106. So you just it should be your motto that you should correct. You have to convert your 10 incorrect question into correct question. Okay, and the Punit sir is saying that authentic source, it is very much important. You have to follow the authentic source. Sometimes if there is confusion, just refer the original website of the ministry or UN or anything, just the original website. This year also there were question that the part 6 Wildlife Protection Act 1972. I just read after that prelims. There are some confusion by the many question that it cannot be planted or it can be planted with license. Okay, when you read the actual Wildlife Protection Act 1972, when you use the control F, you will find the keyword license. Just go to part 6 and just see what it is written. It is clearly written. It can be planted for the research purposes, for the medicinal purposes, by granting from the by getting the license from the chief wildlife conservator of the state. Okay, so how it could be not planted in any circumstance itself is an extreme word. In any circumstance, uh, in spite of that, many coaching this year also are giving the second option. It cannot be planted in any circumstance. If there is confusion, just refer the original act, Wildlife Protection Act. It has 6 schedule, Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Just refer the original PDF from the Ministry of Law and Justice. Okay,
Yes.
that's it.
Sir, there is another question from my side, and my view differs from you here. So please don't take any offense.
Yeah, fine.
So,
Everyone has own strategy, and it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we have to be in the final list.
yes. So I think marks in the mock test is not the criteria that whether you are going to clear the prelims or not.
Yeah, but fine. Yeah.
When you have seen a lot of your friends, those who were scoring in every mock 130 plus, but at times they fail in prelims, in the real prelims. I think marks in mock is not the criteria, but I think what you learn, because whatever you have said that how to analyze the mock, I think that is very much required. But you cannot say that if I'm getting 140 plus in any mock test, that I'm definitely going to clear the prelims, because I have seen my own students who were getting very decent marks, 140, 130, but in real prelims, they got like 70 marks. So I think we should not judge ourselves only on the basis of marks, but how you analyze it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's one of the aspect. The marks is only one of the aspect, because many of my friends, they are in service, but in
Hmm.
next year they are not able to clear the prelims.
Yes.
Yeah, that's also the case. Now you have also many friends. So
Yes.
but the marks definitely give us confidence. Suppose there is you are giving so many mock tests, and every mock you are getting 40 marks, 50
Yes.
marks. So it will definitely lower your
Yes.
confidence, the thinking
Definitely.
capacity, and you will doubt yourself whether I
Yes.
am going to clear or not. And if you are getting 140, 130, 120, you will have the higher confidence level. That's fine. And if you get some less marks, you have, whether you get the high marks or low marks, you have to take it in positive spirit,
Hmm.
uh, because only one mock test will justify all your preparation. That's the in the real examination hall. Okay, only
Yes.
one mock test. But I was just talking about the probability.
Yes, sir.
You will get the, if you are getting 100 plus, 120 plus, but exceptions are everywhere. No, we can't make it as a that thumb
Yeah.
rule. But if you are getting 130, 140, it will give you the higher probability, not the
Ye-
just conformity, but the higher probability.
Yes, sir. And there is another question, and that question is, whatever, sir, strategy you have shared,
Mhm.
don't you think that 2020 has surprised all of us? Means
Yeah, I.
it was a paper, because we all know, and you and me are very good friends, and we know the strategy to clear the prelims, a basic strategy. But 2020 surprised us. Here the game is like in 2016-17, even we used to make some silly mistakes, right? 4 to 5 silly mistakes, but we were able to score more marks because we were able to correct more question. Don't you think that in 2020, if you are marking a simple question incorrect, then it is a punishment now. Now there is no liberty of marking 4 to 5 question incorrectly. Hmm.
Yeah, it's fine. So I was talking about the approach
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
method, that when you have to gain that much level, that when you attempt any random mock 10 question,
Hmm. Hmm.
that the level of UPSC, not some random question, at least you will get the 5 question correct, 6 question correct, so that the overall you are in the positive arena, that the for the that particular 10 question you will get the positive marks.
Yes.
So that's the approach, that's the mindset of the examiner.
Hmm.
Okay, and definitely it should be backed by the that hard work and the covering of resources and the basic things, and each and everything is that the primary, not the secondary. These methods and approach and everything will work only when you have the basic idea of the static portion, current affairs, the Hindu reading, M. Lakshmikant. If if someone is not familiar with the M. Lakshmikant,
Yes.
with M. Lakshmikant, I'm meaning to the basic idea of the, it could be any other notes also. So how he can solve the with the method and approach only? It just the top of that effort, not the replacement.
Sir, I was saying you didn't get my question. I was saying that earlier we had the opportunity that okay, in 3, 4, 5 question you can make some silly mistakes. But this year it was not allowed, because
This
if
year
you are
was
making
altogether
the
different.
yes, yes. So my point is that as per your experience of the prelims, I think even I feel that this was a very different kind of
Yeah,
exam.
definitely,
And
definitely. I was also.
yes,
That's the
yes.
very much different.
Yeah, and even after coming out of the examination hall, we were not sure that what is going to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
So I think UPSC is going towards somewhere where the traditional approach
Mm-hmm.
is not going to help much. What I want to
Mm-hmm.
say,
Yeah,
that
fine. Yeah, true.
current affairs, the
Mm-hmm.
weightage of current affairs in this particular year was very low.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow UPSC can make the paper of 2016 pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
we have
very
to
much
balance.
possible.
Yes, yes.
Very much possible.
Hmm. And
So I
yes, sir.
was told that I was telling that there's just three that section
Yes, sir.
static portion. You have to cover it very much well. Second is the current affairs. You have to cover it very well with following the authentic website, The Hindu, and one monthly magazine. Generally, I am following the Vision. You can
Yes.
follow anyone. One monthly magazine. And third one is the mock test. You have
Hmm.
to divide your prelim preparation in 3 parts. Daily basis, you have to follow current affairs. Daily basis, you have to attempt 4 5 questions given by the any that IS Baba and anything. And
When your
so why?
channel is doing very good job, and you whatever question you are posting on your prelims channel, I would recommend all of them to join your channel and solve those questions every day.
Yeah,
Hmm.
fine. Now the Puneet sir will tell you the that what I
Uh,
will also listen.
Sir, there is one last thing.
Yeah, fine, sir. Ask,
Uh,
please.
that particular question is very important. That how many months one should devote for the prelims preparation, because you have seen the exam now, and there is a possibility that first attempt guy, he or she might be devoting full year only for the prelims. But now those who have appeared in prelims 1 or 2 times, ideally how many months one should devote for the prelims?
Okay. So my
Sir, your voice is cracking.
now voice is fine.
No sir,
Hello.
it is
Now
not fine.
just wait a minute. Now fine.
Yes sir, it is fine.
Okay. So my approach is, before the November or January or February or December, whatever the convenient time, just finish your non prelims GS paper. Why? What it is mean? Non prelims. That the ethics
Sorry sir, can I
optional.
interrupt you for one more second?
Yeah, fine.
This year prelims is in the July. Sorry,
Yeah, I know.
uh,
Very less time.
I think June 18th. Okay.
Yeah, very less time.
Can you please tell a student A who is going to appear for the first time in the prelims that how much time they should devote,
Mm-hmm.
and B kind of candidate those who have appeared in prelims for 2 to 3 times.
Those who appeared 2 to 3 times, right now they can cover the that what is the that non-common papers. Non-common papers. What I mean with, because ultimately you have to make the in the final list. To prelims is just a stage, mains is just a stage, interview is just a stage. If you are not able to clear any stage, next year you have to start from zero.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether you are clearing the prelims or mains, including myself also. UPSC is not going to give a certificate. Oh, you get the 116 prelims or that much marks in mains. It doesn't matter. The examination, any examination is a football game. In football, you will get the goal when you goal. It is either in 0 or 1.
Yes.
0 or 1. It doesn't matter whether when you goal that center position or just you miss the goal with 1 centimeter, or you just put the goal football in the goal post with just 1 centimeter. It is counted as 0 or 1. So in UPSC also, it is 0 or 1. Whether you are in the list or out the list, doesn't matter. Anything else is just trivial. Whether you clear the prelims, mains, interview, optional essay, ethics, it should be holistic. Okay, so for first timer, they should that focus on prelims right now also, and for the that's who appeared in second or that 1 or 2 times. Now, right now, they can focus on that non-prelims GS paper like essay, international relation, society, world history, which is not asked in prelims. And from December or January, they can they can devote their full times to prelims. That's from my side. It can be vary from aspirant to aspirant. So no
Yes.
final.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your time, and you have given a valuable insight to the students. So, guys, next step is I have highlighted that particular point, that what to do for 2021, and as sir have said that if you have appeared in prelims for 2 to 3 times, from my personal uh, experience and my advice, those who are senior players now, senior means 2 to 3 times they have appeared in prelims, do not waste these months, November, December, January, for the prelims. What you have to do, as sir has said, follow the current affairs, solve some question, and read the Hindu. Apart from that, there are other things, because even if you clear the prelims, if you are not clearing the mains, then there is no use of clearing the prelims. If you are clearing the mains but not able to get the rank, then there is no use of clearing the mains. Even in that, if you are not getting your rank, means whatever service you want, some wants to become IAS, some Indian foreign service, if you are not getting that, then again you are in this loop. So ultimate game is of the mains. So what I would like to say, check your mains preparation, focus on your optional, focus on your GS, as sir has said, non prelims part. You cannot make this mistake again, that okay, after prelims I will prepare for the mains. Trust me, it is very difficult, although not impossible. Many people, many students clear it, but treat yourself as the most unluckiest person on this planet. The moment you play your game on the basis of luck, I think uh, that would be a major mistake. So treat yourself that I am not lucky at all. My whole life, my whole outcome depends on the hard work I put. So now you have to put that hard work. Check your optional. I know many people, when they don't clear the prelims, they don't prepare for the mains. And one chance they get to write the mains, and they fail miserably. Miserably means, suppose cutoff is 770, they are getting 470. Because you have never thought that if you get the chance to clear the prelims, then what you are going to do. So right now you have to prepare only for the mains, not for the prelims. That is one thing. Second thing, when I'm saying preparing for the mains, do not do the formalities. Some people are like, sir, I read that notes and I have prepared my mains. No, there are two kind of student. One, where your mentor is pushing you to do some of the things. You are not able to study for 1 hour. So your mentor is pushing you that please study for 6 hours, seven, then eight, then nine, then 10. The best student is the one who pushes their mentor, that sir or ma'am, you gave me the target to study for 6 hours, but now I'm studying 8 hours and I want to increase it to 10 hours. You have to challenge yourself, because the competitors you have, Alok sir is your competitor. He's in job and he's doing all the things, and despite of that, he is going to prepare well. So you have to break all the records. And when I'm saying you have to challenge yourself, please, please, dear students, do not challenge in a wrong side. I know people who study for 14 hours in a day, 14 hours, and never they have cleared the prelims. Never they have cleared the mains, because they were in the wrong direction. They thought, in Hindi we say it, कि एक गधे वाला काम होता है एक घोड़े वाला, हमें घोड़ा बन. The donkey does lot of hard work, even more than the horse. But ultimately, horse is very important. So you have to behave like a horse. So whatever you have to do in the proper direction, because that will be the biggest disappointment of your life. That last 1 year, I studied for 14 hours in a day, and despite of that, I failed. And that will kill you like anything. And I don't want you to go in on that side, where it will take years for you to understand, to accept your failure. Those who are in their very first attempt, you might have heard a lot of toppers talk, all this and that. But what I'm uh, telling you, please follow that. Number one, prepare your optional before the prelims. After prelims, it will be impossible, and I'm saying it impossible for you to prepare your optional. So your main focus should be on two things. Number one, optional. Number two, static part of the prelims. You should prepare now. you don't have the liberty to wait for April or May, that in the month of April you are going through M Lakshmikant, because in some toppers talk you have heard that that particular topper prepared for the prelims only for 30 days and he has cleared. So again, my same line: treat yourself as the most unluckiest person on this planet. Only hard work matters for you. So this is the thing which you have to do. Whatever optional you have, when you are going to prepare it now and when you are going to write the answers, then you will be able to know that whether you can continue with that or not. So in the month of Feb, you might get the liberty to change that. Some people just pick the optional because of some topper stock. And even there are some that, sir, that topper was so handsome and he was saying very motivating thing. So I chose that particular optional. That is not the criteria to choose the optional. So right now, prepare for your optional, write answers, be in touch with your mentor, and finalize it. Because optional is means, if I'll say optional is like choosing your life partner, as simple as that. It takes years to understand that you chose the wrong life partner, because first time when you are going to write your mains with that particular optional. Am I audible to all of you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first time when you are going to write your mains with that particular optional, and you might get 150 or 160 marks, and you might be thinking that okay, next year I'll work hard, I'll increase it, then next year I'll increase it. After 3 4 attempts, you you come to realize that it was the biggest mistake of my life. So optional is like choosing the life partner. It's not easy to leave it. And never compare your optional with the topper's score. Always compare it with the average score. In one of my posts, I said, do not take geography. I meant it. I have seen my friends ruining their career, their life. They would have become IAS 2 or 3 years ago, but they were not able to. But this year, someone got 307, and someone sent me that message that, sir, how can you say it? He got 307. Again, the same thing. You are not lucky. He was lucky. Even if you will check the topper stock of Junaid, rank 3, 2018 batch. He said it clearly that I didn't do anything different what I had done in 2017. But this year I got 313 or 312, whatever it was. But the average score was 210. So we need an optional which can give us 250 minimum, and that is average. Again, I'm saying not the topper's score. Some people take mathematics because someone got 364 marks, and that person is suffering from crossing 250 marks. So just check it. Okay. So optional choice is very important. Harshal will talk about it, that which all optional are doing fine. And of course, for the first timer, you have to finish your static part of the GS now. What I felt from this prelims paper and earlier one, that UPSC is moving into the PSC side, means state PSC. In state PSC, you will find the question like, we all know one famous event, Ambedkar Sahib, one I think Mehet protest, na? There was one revolution or some protest, Mehed or Mehet, if I'm not wrong. So yes, Mehet, thank you. So state PCS asked that what was the date. So they'll give you the date: 1st August, 2nd August, 3rd August, 4th August. That is the way of state PSC. UPSC never enter into that field, but this particular year UPSC has entered into a very worst field. Means whatever question they have asked to us, apart from 30-35 question, even someone asked the UPSC members or the person who was making the paper to solve it, even there is a possibility they themselves might not be able to qualify the prelims. So it was a very weird kind of paper. It was not the paper of UPSC, but we have to understand that it was a qualifying exam. So even though they had given us very tough question, our duty was to just clear the cutoff. And as I was talking to Alok sir, and I have raised one point. Now you do not have the liberty to incorrect the simple questions. Earlier we had. Earlier, trust me, we had that liberty. 5, 6, 7 question liberty we had. This time, no liberty at all. One wrong question, you are out. 10 wrong question, you are in 70s. Because the question where you were not sure, it was pure tukka game. तुक्का लग गया तो अच्छा, नहीं लगा तो बाहर. I know many uh, people who worked really hard for the prelims. Despite of that, they were not able to clear, and there are some who didn't prepare well, and they are going to write the mains. So simple questions, you cannot mark it incorrect. Okay. And of course, for the prelims, we will take many sessions, and after the mains, Alok sir will share his insight. There is one debate that can we just prepare for the UPSC and do nothing? There is one question, sir, should I join the job or not? And it's a very tricky question. It's tricky because it varies from person to person. Someone is having major financial issue, he has to join the job because he knows that he will not be able to survive without money. 1 year he managed somehow from here or there, but now he cannot. So of course he has to join the job. There is some person who does not have any financial issues, even family is saying beta kar lo, तैयारी कर लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. But this monotonous life of only preparing for the civil services, and every year waiting to see their name, and every year failing in one of the stages, whether prelims, mains, or interview. So to break that monotonous life, someone is thinking to join the job. So my personal view is you all must have a plan B. So that plan B has to be there. This is what I feel. It could be state PSC, it could be SSC, it could be IB ACIO exam, anything. But never join any job where you are not working 9 to 5. There are some jobs like banking jobs. Banking job nowadays, it's very tough. So instead of becoming plan B, that will be that might become your plan A. Means every day you are thinking कि कहाँ पे अब बस लोन दे दें, कैसे टारगेट पूरे हों. That is not expected from you because your ultimate plan A is to crack the civil services examination. So I would suggest to all of you, if you want to join any job, first try to clear some recruitment exam. I would always say that central government jobs are much better than the state government because the kind of environment you get there, the kind of staff you get there, it's far better than the state government. Plus there is some flexibility that okay, you are working Monday to Friday 9 to 5 job. In state, why I said that central government is far better, in state you don't get much time. There is a lot of pressure on you, there is a lot of work to do, and of course the working environment of central and state government varies. So first priority should be to the central government, second priority to the state government SDM post. It's good. DSP again, hectic post, but people get it, join that post and then they clear. I have seen. So in state also try to get the top post, because only if you are in that top slot and when you are talking to your boss, that boss, I'm going to write the mains, please help, then boss might give you some flexibility. But if you are in the lower post in hierarchy, they may not entertain you. Okay, so yes, you should have plan B, but it has to be plan B only. It cannot replace your plan A. So you can work, you can find some job. Some people get a job in coaching industry, some copy checking work, content work. That is fine. But plan A, your plan A must be plan A, and that must be civil services examination, nothing else. Then this point, uh, which bridge to cross and which page to burn. After getting means after not able to qualify the exam, there is deep frustration, anger, and some people enter in the
Hello.
negative side.
Hello.
Hello, am I
Hello.
audible?
Can I share my story
Yeah,
in brief?
please, please,
The
please, sir.
people who are in frustration. Okay, just
Yes,
wait a
sir.
minute.
Thank you, sir. And there is one more thing that Alok sir has worked in both the industry, central government as well as now he's SDM in state government, so he can tell you that how things differ. Uh, Ashwin, Commandant is good because when you clear your CAPF exam, your training, like after 1.5 or 2 years, you will get your training. So you get the time to prepare, and society won't harm you. Alok sir, please continue.
Yeah, I just want to share this for if they are feeling depression or something demotivating. I just share my story in few words. I failed in 12th. Just listen it carefully. I failed in my 12th examination in 5 subject out of 9 subject. Then I did my diploma. Then joined the STU.
Sir, your voice is gone.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was just telling I failed in my 12th examination in 5 subject out of 9 subject. Then I did my diploma in mechanical engineering. Then joined the Steel Authority of India Limited. Then the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation. Then the Research and Standard Organization Railways. It is R&D wing of Railways. With my job, I just get my graduation in mechanical engineering, then just clear the UPSC label examination. Earlier it was conducted by UPSC. In that year in which I cleared, it was conducted by NPC, National Productivity Council of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. I was selected as the Group A Gazetted Officer level 10 in Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And in my first attempt, I just cleared that Bihar State PCS and got that senior deputy collector rank. So it's not demotivating or anything. When I the failed 12th failed student can become a deputy collector. Right now I'm a deputy collector, so I am just telling this only. When I will able to clear the IS, I will also mention that. But so there is no need to demotivate. The only thing is continuous that effort. You can't change your past even 1 second before. You can change only your future. Okay, so don't
Standing,
demotivate.
standing ovation for you for sharing
So
this with
don't demotivate and don't think. And while the Puneet sir mentioning about the preparation along with job, so believe me, I was working for 8 years in different 5 organizations, both central government, state government. Now as a senior deputy collector, and right this year also, I handled the COVID situation, flood in my district, and right now I am assistant returning officer for the legislative assembly election in my constituency. So it's very tough, but you have to find the time. Okay, you have to focus on the time which you can get. So how to save the times from that non-productive time in office also. I used to my laptops, I just covered my book, anthropology book, with the file cover. And anywhere, whenever you are traveling or in queue, or when I go to inspection, it's 1.5 journey or something like that. In my vehicle also, I just used to listen that my lecture or anything else. So it's up to you how to manage the time. And right now, if you are not able to manage this preparation or your preparation along with job, just tell me how you will manage the whole district. The 10 lakh people lives will depend upon you. If you are not able to handle your own problems, the whatever problems you have in personal life, if you are not able to handle the two things, job along with preparation, or the hectic schedule or anything else, how you will able to handle a ministry or a district where your one decision will affect the lakhs of people? Just tell me one answer.
Absolutely, sir. And even I was working. It's like working for 4 years. In office, you always get the time. You will get some 10-15 minute time. So it depends on you whether you are able to use it or not. Because if you are doing some chit chat, then of course you will say that I was not able to get the time. But if you can utilize that sir has said, despite of this much hectic schedule, and there is one more student I have under me. He's working 14 hours in a day as of now, 14 hours, but he's preparing for the mains. And he cannot take the leave. Even sir cannot take the leave. It is not allowed now. Same condition he's
This
having.
year also, this
Hmm.
year also, my district magistrate, the DM sir, gave me only 1 day leave.
Hmm.
1 day leave for the prelims. 1 day leave. Okay.
So
So that's, but what you many people think that, oh, I'm not in Delhi, I'm not getting this. Always think there is no ideal situation for the preparation. You have to do it in that particular situation what you have. You can't compare with the other have the best book, best resources, the more times. Everyone has some advantage and everyone has some disadvantage.
absolutely
Don't,
correct.
but at the end of the day, all are likely. जो what we say, the equal.
Hmm.
Algebraic sum is equal. If you are in job, you will get the financial support, mental peace, not so much pressure for getting the job. If you are not in job, you have the ample of time and everything. So everyone have their own advantage and that the strength and that the weak points. So don't focus on the weak point. Why? Because I don't think that I can't think that, oh, I should have 14 hours of forest study, because I can't change it. So first you don't have that much time, and now you are making the double mistake. You are thinking over it, so you are wasting one more extra second over it, which you can't change. If you can't join the offline classes in Delhi for any reason, and now you are thinking over it, oh, I am not able to join it, so you are making the double mistakes.
Yes.
Okay, so
And
that's the
even
point.
tele is not required as of now, because now you have Telegram, the king of everything, where you get each and every material. Everything is there, and of course some big channels were got deleted, but despite of that you are getting the guidance. You are lucky, because when we were preparing, like even Alok sir can agree to this, there was no guidance. In the name of guidance, only test series or classroom, but guidance is above the classroom and the test series. So guidance means that one silly mistake you are making, and every year you are making that, but you are not aware of that. So that is the role of the mentor. They tell you that, okay, you are making this mistake, don't make it now. Okay. So there is one point, which bridge to cross and which bridge to burn.
So
It
there
was a
is a popular saying, I
yes
just
sir.
want to add with the Puneet sir.
Yes sir.
अगर आप वही करते हैं जो करते आए हैं, तो आप वही पाएंगे जो पाते आए हैं.
Bilkul.
If you are doing what you have done, so you will get what you have got earlier.
And I just want to add one point, sir, to your quote. My principal in college, he used to say that you don't get friends what you want, you always get friends what you are. So it is true. Okay, so which bridge to cross and which bridge to burn? It's a very difficult condition. Of course, you are preparing for the civil services examination, and look, there is one thing. In this preparation, you will get the pain. Even if you are clearing this exam in 1 year itself, in your first attempt itself, you will get some pain. And in one of my posts, I said that those who are clearing in first attempt, they don't understand the value of pain because they got it and it's gone now. When you fail, only then you understand the value of pain. You become a better human being. Okay. So what I'm trying to convey here, that pain is going to be there in this whole preparation. You might have been working in USA, UK, some good package, or you might have escaped your college placement, whatever it was. You might, and there are some people, means I don't know whether such people exist today or not. Earlier, there were some who used to quit their job to prepare, and I'm talking about the government job. And now they think that why I left my job. So pain is going to be there, but along with the pain, you have to move on because until you have the attempt, I can tell you, after every failure, student think now I'm not going to appear in the exam. Once the notification comes, they message, sir, how to prepare. So you have to live with the pain, learn it. And UPSC exam is not tough per se, I would say, but the process is very tough. It is very tough. Lot of ups and downs. In first or second attempt, you will not um, uh, get the condition or situation where you have to manage something else. In during our first or second attempt, generally we focus only on the preparation, but after that, some family issue, some other personal issue, some financial issue. So we have to learn that how to do that. Okay. So what is the motive of which bridge to burn and which bridge to cross? Simple is that always surround yourself with the positive people. Always surround yourself with the positive people because negative people can lead you in a different direction where you will be very much away from this process, and that thing will ruin your 1 whole year, or might be two or more, 2 or 3. So first thing is, uh, uh, stay away from the negative people, stay away from the negative things. Another thing is, choose what you want. At times we lost our attempt on the things which were not important for us, and we gave lot of importance to those things. And there is one mental condition that is called OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. In UPSC, everyone is suffering from OCD. So OCD is on higher level, but everyone is suffering from that condition. And in that OCD, what happens that whatever is your dominant thought, that dominate your preparation. Someone is waiting for a call, and you know what I'm trying to say. Waiting for a call for 30, 40 days. That is OCD. And you are not preparing, but you are appearing in the mains, you are appearing in the prelims. And after 1 or 2 year, you realize that what I was doing, why I wasted my time. So your time is very valuable. So you have to learn which bridge to cross and which bridge to burn, because now you have roughly 8 months with you, roughly eight. And in 8 months, you have to prepare mains along with the prelims. So you know that it takes time. It really takes time to prepare the mains. So if you are thinking you have the time, I would say yes, you have the time, and yes, you don't have the time. You have the time for the preparation, but trust me, you don't have the time for wasting on the things which you should have burned earlier. Then there is next point, expectations. Someone wants to become IAS, IPS, IFS because he wants to serve the society, he wants to work for the country, he wants to change the billions of life, and he or she is not able to clear the prelims. But you find someone who has no goal of changing the society, working for the country, but for that person, it is just a job, and he's getting the rank. Okay, and you are not getting it, and expectations hurt. In Hindi, we call it दिल लगी. तो दिल लगी नहीं करनी है यार, और यूपीएससी के साथ तो कभी नहीं करनी है. Because what happens that when you are so much involved that your every second, every breath is linked to your preparation, to your rank, and when you don't get the outcome, it hurts the most. It really hurts the most. So दिल लगी नहीं करनी है. We have to follow the approach of Gita, Nishkam Karm, Buddha, like do not have any expectations. When you don't have it, you get it. If I can ask Alok sir, in very first attempt he cleared Bihar PSC exam, he got deputy collector post. He might have been having lot of expectation from the UPSC, but not from the BPSC, but he got it. When you don't have the expectations, and when you work, of course it's not like that. Sir, you told that I should not have any expectation. I don't have, but I didn't prepare. Then sorry, you will fail. You have to prepare, but when you don't have the expectation, so even if you are failing, generally when we appear in different exam, and those who are like appeared in 2 to 3 times in civil services, they might have felt it. You appeared in some banking exam, in SSC or some state, you failed in prelims or mains, it doesn't matter. But when you fail in civil services exam, it really matters, because we have certain expectation from our side that I should be there, I should be on other side where I'm giving topper stock, or whether uh, in a different side, like I'm I'm DM, I'm SP, and when you don't get it, it hurts. Last point, which I would like to emphasize: scapegoat attitude is not going to help if you have the attempt in your hand. You can blame Corona, you can blame UPSC, you can blame your friends, your parents, your mental state. Ultimately, what matters is whether you have cleared or not. So, if you have the attempt, stop blaming others, start blaming yourself, but stop hurting yourself. There are three things: stop blaming other selves, start blaming yourself, and third is stop hurting yourself. Never hurt yourself. You can blame yourself. Of course, it was your mistake that you were not able to clear the prelims or mains or interview, but you don't have to hurt yourself. And when you fail, generally we blame others. That will not help until you have the attempts. After you exhaust your all the attempts, you can blame anyone. But until you have it, find the mistake. Because if you're not blaming others, blaming yourself, only then you will find the mistakes. I know some of the students who are on this call, and they were the toppers of SOMP test series, and they were not able to clear the prelims. So I can understand their feeling, but you have to blame yourself because you were too much involved in the marks of mock test, which me and Alok sir differ on this particular point. But you develop a certain kind of tendency by solving the mock. You doubt everything, and UPSC does not allow you to doubt. They give you some statement, they expect you to behave like a normal human being. but you are behaving like a certain particular mock test. So you don't have to do that. And um there is one last thing which I would like all of you to develop. And I assume all of you are from middle or lower middle class. Those who are elites, congratulations. But those who are not, develop one hobby for you. Hobby helps us to means it is like diversion, because the whole day, the whole year, the whole month you are thinking and preparing only for the civil services examination. But there must be some time in your life when you are doing something else. You are in Delhi, you are preparing for the civil services examination, your friends are from the same circle. If you join the gym, you will find different kind of people. Someone is in business, someone is in college, and they are talking about different things. And during that time you are away from the civil services. It could be watching some good documentaries, it could be reading some good novels, anything. But please have one hobby in your life, and trust me, that will give you some space between your preparation, stress, depression. That will give you that time, that when you are with yourself. And that is very important. And I think Pragya ma'am is also there in the call. Ma'am, are you there? Pragya ma'am? Okay, I think she's not here. Guys, anyone has any question, you can unmute your audio and ask. 3 4 questions I will take, not more than that. Not on the chat. Please unmute your audio and ask. Alok sir, you are there? Even if someone wants to ask any question to Alok sir, you can.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, please ask.
Yeah, sir, I was a student of SOM for just the last 1 month. I
Okay.
had enrolled myself in a batch.
Hmm.
So, my question is now I wish to prepare alone and
Hmm.
I would like to take mentorship for the mains.
Okay.
So, sir, how should be my preparation now?
Actually, I don't have any idea who is your mentor, what is your number of attempts. If you can elaborate, then I can tell you.
So, my mentor was Pragya ma'am,
Okay.
and I have already given 2 attempts up till now. I didn't attempt this time
Okay.
because of this COVID situations.